The long-running border dispute between Armenia and Azerbaijan is writing a new chapter in the conflict. Fighting has once again erupted between neighbors. Baku and Yerevan are pointing the finger at each other in a squabble over who started it first. With tensions running high and civilians being killed, will current skirmishes turn into a full-blown war, or can peace prevail in the Caucasus? I'm Yusuf Aram, and this is Armenian Border Aggression Decoded. Decisions made during the Soviet Union era have led to the present-day Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. Both Armenia and Azerbaijan fell under communist rule in the early 1920s. Armenia pushed for the transfer of the Nagorno-Karabakh region, but in 1923, Joseph Stalin upheld the territorial status quo and Azerbaijan retained the strategic stretch of land. Armenia was displeased with Stalin's decision, but under the iron fist of the powerful Soviets, you either lived with it or died for it. As a result, the conflict between foes fell silent for several decades. When the Soviet Union crumbled in the late 1980s, both Azerbaijan and Armenia emerged as fledgling and independent states. But with the breakup of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics came the reemergence of the Nagorno-Karabakh question. Armenians living in the region unilaterally decided to break away from Azerbaijan in 1988, but Moscow backed Baku, saying that the move was unacceptable as per the Soviet constitution. The de facto annexation of Azerbaijani land triggered a war that lasted for 6 years. Fighting broke out in Nagorno-Karabakh as Armenian troops seized swaths of land. When Armenian troops entered the Hojala region of Azerbaijan in early 1992, 613 civilians were slaughtered in what came to be known as the Hojala massacre. Over the course of the conflict, thousands of Azerbaijani civilians were killed, with almost 1 million displaced. Some 20% of Azerbaijan's territory was occupied by Armenia. Azerbaijan's stance is clear, according to the country's former defense minister, Rahim Gaziev. But where has the international community been all this time? The Hojala massacre made headlines across the world and finally put the conflict on the United Nations radar. The UN Security Council convened in 1993 and passed 4 resolutions demanding an immediate ceasefire and the withdrawal of Armenian troops from the region. But the resolutions didn't change the realities on the ground. Another international organization attempted to mediate a political solution as well. The Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe formed the Minsk Group, co-chaired by the US, France, and Russia. While the Minsk Group did play a proactive role in bringing together Armenian and Azerbaijani leadership for talks, the trio made negligible progress in 3 decades to finding a permanent solution to the conflict. The 3 resolutions passed by the group have all been rejected. Baku criticized the Minsk Group of being biased, citing the large Armenian diaspora present in all 3 co-chair countries as impacting the group's position. The bottleneck in peace talks let the issue fester over the years. There were multiple skirmishes between 2010 and 2016. Azerbaijan was able to liberate some of its previously occupied territory. The heaviest fighting was in April 2016, a 4-day war that killed more than 110 people. Russia's President Vladimir Putin brokered the ceasefire that ended that round of fighting. The border between both countries is always active with the potential for engagement. The most recent round of clashes started in July 2020 and have increased in intensity in recent weeks. Regional power and neighbor Turkey is concerned that the fighting could destabilize the region and put its energy security at risk, as critical pipelines carrying much-needed natural gas run from Azerbaijan to Turkey. Ankara has pledged its full support to Baku and wants previous UN resolutions enforced. And this would mean that the Nagorno-Karabakh issue can only be resolved with the withdrawal of Armenian troops from Azerbaijani soil. And that's the Armenian Border Aggression Decoded. Send me your comments and suggestions on Twitter at YusufAram34.